Hello everyone. So in today's video we are going to talk about table control. So that's the agenda for this one. And then in the next video I'll be talking about chain and end chain, how to create a search request and value request, basically how to deal with that, which means F1 and F4 in module pool. And then how to create a select option, because parameter we can create directly, but how to create a select option. So these 3-4 things I'll be discussing in the next video. And today's video I'm going to just take a very simple example of tab strip control, and then I think then we are done with module pool, and next would be smart form and scripts. Adobe Form, as of now my system is not supporting that ADS environment, so I'll see if I can just arrange a different system, but for now we'll just put Adobe Form on hold and then we'll move to object oriented, as a lot of things are dependent on object oriented, that is BADI, object oriented related ALV, dynamic internal tables, and then some other concepts. So that is how we are going to proceed. But before I go ahead, I wanted to make a request, because I'm little frustrated by knowing that most of my viewers, and especially Indians, I am not sure about the people who are outside India, but especially Indians, they are applying a shortcut, means by downloading my videos in their personal device or laptop, and then they are just utilizing it. So guys, just a humble request, just consider me your friend, your mentor, your tutor, whatever, but then please, it's my humble request, there are copyright issues. I don't want anyone to download these videos in their personal devices. I have already declared I have already put a copyright notification in the beginning of my videos, and that is really serious. So I don't want anyone to download. I know many of you would have already downloaded it, and then I cannot track. But then again, just making a humble request, because I know there are risks involved in it, and then there are many people, again Indians, who can make misuse of it, especially commercially, from the commercial side. So I don't want anyone to download it and then someone else is doing some business against it by selling it to someone else, a needy guy, any needy guy or any needy person. So overall perspective, overall exercise, the purpose is again to make free contents available, and then whosoever wants it should visit YouTube and then just watch it from there. I don't know how many of you are going to follow this after watching my video, but then again, humble request, if this practice is going to continue, then probably I'll just think of no, deleting my channel, because there is no point in doing that if people are applying shortcuts. I have uh, I have been requesting this very consistently, and I can request only, and I don't have time to go and investigate for this, who downloaded, which IP downloaded and all. But then, so guys, just I think this much of respect I deserve at least. If you guys, I mean, many people, not just you, many people have been benefiting uh, with the videos, with my experience. So I think against that, because I'm not charging anything, just you can give me this much respect, you can visit the YouTube channel and then watch the videos there, but please don't download and then put it in your personal folders, because trust me, it's not your videos, it's my videos, and I think it should be mine always. So you are free to make use of it, in the sense leverage the benefits, leverage the tutorials, leverage the methods, methodologies, practices which I am uploading in my video, but then please, no downloading. Thank you. So today I'm going to talk about tab strip. So tab strip, I think everyone will understand what is a tab strip. So I don't have an example, obviously, because it's an IDES system and I'm not talking about any real-time FS, but then I have got an example on saptechnical.com, which is a very good website, and I think almost every ABAP consultant refers it someday or other. So we are going to replicate this example in our video. So let me go to SAP. So we'll let it be like this. Let's come out of this. let me see if I have any tab strip control here. Okay, we have a folder but nothing is there. Okay, so we'll quickly create a new report, or maybe we can do one thing. Or better to create a new one rather than disturbing the previous one, because I want to explain chain and couple of other things in the previous video. So sorry, in the previous program, so let it be like that. Let me make this as 1 and let's create a new one. So you know the naming convention by now. So let's create and activate all the other includes. So we have all the includes ready now. Let's create a screen. (9001). So we are giving this as a tab strip, the name as tab strip. So in this example you'll also understand the concept of subscreens. Element list, obviously OK underscore code. Activate this. Let's create one more screen and then you'll understand why I'm creating 9002. Just make it as a subscreen. Tab 1. So you'll see that we are not going to enter the OK underscore code here. So if I create one more subscreen, so it's the same thing again. So again, no OK code. Why? Because subscreens are always going to be the part of main screen, and then the logics of subscreen will be dealt in the main screen itself. So in the screens 9002 and 3, the OK code is going to be taken care by 9001 itself. How we are going to see. Before that, before I proceed, let's just visit the example so that we can do it quickly. So we have to define a control, tab strip, type tab strip, OK code obviously will define. Then what this guy is doing, so this is done by Vikram Chelappa. So thanks to Vikram for this example, so that it's helpful for me to replicate this quickly. Otherwise I have to apply my brain, and then it might take more time. Okay, so they have I mean that Vikram has declared two numbers here, number 1 and number 2, and then there is a result n1 and 2I. Okay, then three screens, 100, 110, 130, and then PF status. Obviously we are going to create one. So the concept of tab strip is, when you click on a tab, okay, let me show if it's there. Yeah, so when you click on tab 1, this content has to be enabled. When you click on tab 2, then the other content has to be enabled. That's why when we design a tab strip, we give the details here, like active tab is tab 1. When we are clicking on tab 2, then the active tab is tab 2. And then there is a result which we'll see. Back means leave program, that is fine. User command, okay. User command, okay. So the first screen he has designed as a normal one. In the normal screen, he has mentioned call subscreen this, including screen number this. So this is how you call a subscreen. Call subscreen this, including this, and in both in PView and PAI. So we are going to do that. It's a predefined syntax. We have to use it so that the subscreen can be called. So let's do it quickly. Okay, so for now in 9001, okay, let's enable this. So PBO will go into 001, this one. Okay, PAI, it will go into I01. Activate. Let's create on the layout. This is our layout editor. Here we can find out the tab strip control. So by default it gives tab 1 and tab 2. We have to give a function code to this, so that whenever we click on the tab, it takes it as SciUCOM or OK code, and then it acts accordingly. Similarly tab 2. Okay. Activate this. There is some syntax error, so we need to see. So okay, so push button tab 1 is not assigned to a subscreen. Okay, so we need to assign a subscreen under the tab strip. So let's just quickly call subscreen 9002. Let me just revisit the syntax, 1 second. including the screen number. So subscreen name is assigned in the reference field which we are going to assign. Okay, so let's go back to our code. Let's go to the layout. In the reference field, because tab strip requires a subscreen sub1, here give a name as sub2. Now call subscreen this. So call subscreen sub1 including one second. Okay, and then sub2 do a pretty printer. And guys, please note that earlier I remember in the latest version of ECC, that is EHP 6 and 7, we can debug the module pull programming piece of code like this code which you are putting in the screen. We can also put a breakpoint here. Earlier we were not able to do it, so now even that issue is resolved. Okay, so before we do anything else, let's quickly define few things in the top. So we are defining a control for tab strip. title tab, title push button tab 1. Okay, let me just have a look at it. What is this error? Okay, so since we are having two different subscreens, 9002 and 3, let's assign that. So we have a symbol here, subscreen area. Click this one and then just expand it here like this. Go to tab 2, select the subscreen area again, drag and drop here, flow logic. Now if I go to attributes, sorry, element list, I have tab 1, tab 2. Okay. So it's active now. So my attribute says it's a normal screen. My element list says it's a tab strip, which means tab strip control. In that I have two different tabs, tab 1, tab 2, and subscreen sub 1 and sub 2 are assigned to that. OK code is our normal OK code. In the flow logic we are calling the subscreens, including the screen numbers. And let's create a GUI status first. Create G status, so for a normal screen, enter, save, back, exit, cancel. Okay, so this is done. We did this in the last video also, so I believe you guys would remember this. So GUI status is done. Let's create a GUI title. Activate this. Okay, now go to the status. We have G status, Z title, okay. Now we'll do one thing, we'll create a T code. So we'll make it GM test 1 tab strip. So we have the program name here, put the program here, screen number would be 9001. This is going to support all kind of GUIs. So save it, activate the complete flow once again. I keep on doing it just to check if there are any errors. Now if I execute this, I'm going to see this kind of screen in front of me. So as of now nothing is happening. So most important thing is that whenever we click on a different tab, we need to tell the system that the other tab should be active. So go back. So obviously it's not going to work because we didn't do the coding. So let's go to the screen 9001. Case OK underscore code when back or exit cancel leave program. Makes sense for now. We are simply going out because we are having only one screen, so we are not going to navigate. So now at least if I execute the transaction, so it should take me back. If I execute the transaction, same thing. If I execute once again, same thing. So this is one thing. The other thing is basically the concept of active tab. So let's go back to this program once again, this example, sorry. So you can see that apart from that, since we are treating the tab different tabs, we have assigned them a function code or a SAP-ABAP. We are going to tell the system that which tab is going to be active. Now let's go back to our screen once again. So if you guys remember, for the tab 1 we have given function code as tab 1. Function code is nothing but our OK code or SAP-ABAP. Tab 2 for second tab. So in the user command we can write when tab 1 hyphen when tab 2 so we told the system that different tabs would be active at different timings. So you can see now the difference. Earlier it was frozen, now it's not. So when we are clicking on the second tab, it's treating this as a SAP-ABAP or OK code or user command or user activity, and accordingly it activates the second screen. When we click on the first one, it activates the first one. So now by doing this, the control lies in your hand now. Whatever you want to do, you want to create a table control inside this, you can. So that table control is going to be a part of that subscreen. Now you can drag and drop a table control there and do all the programming which we did yesterday. Okay, so now let's see what else they are doing in that code. Okay, so let's try to replicate this in the program. So let's go to our top include once again. So we defined three variables, num1, num2 and result. So the target is that in the total of num1 and num2 would be shown in the second tab. So go to this 9002, go to the layout, F6, num1, get from program, select this, hit OK. It will come here. Write a text for this one. Num1. Okay. You can drag and drop it, make some adjustments. One more F6, num2. So since these variables are defined in the program, we are getting them from the program, not from the data dictionary. So this one is very simple, I believe. If you guys were attentive in my previous video, which I recorded some time back on table control, then it's nothing, I believe. So num2. Okay, so num1 and num2. Go back, activate 9003, layout, F6, result. Create a text. Result. Make some adjustments. Activate this. So now the SAP-UCOM we are going to handle in the main screen or normal screen, that is 9001. So let's go back to this one. I'll just get some water. Okay, so okay, so the logic is like, let's just visit our transaction once again and let's quickly understand the concept. So forget about 9001. Now this one is 9002, this one is 9003. So what we are going to do? So we are going to enter a value here and a value here, which means 1 and 2. Okay, so 9001, we are on 9001. So what happens? We are entering the value and then calling 9002. Okay, so how the screen flow would have happened? So when you call the T code, which means it will go and then do a PBO of 9001, that is my main screen. Then it will do a PBO of 9002 because that is the first subscreen being displayed for tab 1, because tab 1 is the default here. Now it will go and trigger the PBO of 9002, and then we are on 9002. We are entering the values of num1 and num2. Then we are calling 9002, which means when calling 9002 by clicking on tab 2, which means the PAI of 9002, sorry, calling 9003, my bad, sorry. So this one is 9002, entering the numbers and clicking on this one, which means calling 9003. So what happens now when you enter something here and then click this? So PAI means process after input of 9002 triggers, and then PBO of 9003 triggers. So whenever there is a screen which comes in front of you, it will load the PBO of that screen. I have explained this very well in the last video. So if required, just go through the video again. Humble request, on YouTube only, not on a downloaded version. Okay, and then PAI of 9002 is going to trigger when you are navigating from 9002 to 9003, which makes sense also, because right now I am on this screen 1, so I'm entering some number, and then when I click this, so first process after input of this will trigger, and then PBO of this will trigger. So that is the sequence, PBO PAI, PBO PAI, like that. So now if I do a total of these two fields in the PAI of 9002, then the moment PBO of 9003 triggers, it will get the value of the result and it will display here. So let's do that. Go back 9002. If I do this in the PAI of 9002, I means I01. So here result equal to num2. Okay, so let's execute the transaction again. 1 1. If I do this, so PAI, so obviously PBO of 9002 has already been triggered. Now PAI of 9003 will trigger. If I go here, I get the result. If I go back, if I make it 5, go here, so I have to refresh it. Actually the values are not being refreshed, so I have to refresh the values in PBO as well. Okay, so whenever you are replicating this, so just do one thing, you just use some clear statements and clear the values. So this is how, so that you don't see the old values and the values gets refreshed every time. So this is how we design a tab strip control. So in my next video I'm going to talk about how to create a select option in module pool, what is table control, then chain and chain, how to create a search request, and how to create a value request. So these are going to be discussed in the next video, and then we'll be moving to scripts and smart forms. Scripts and smart forms I will try to give 1 hour each, and then we'll finish that, and then we'll jump on object oriented, so that we can cover BADI and obviously what all topics I told, workflow and all. So thank you guys for being with me, and then please help me out by watching the videos on YouTube only. Don't download it in your personal laptop. I am really not comfortable with that. Thank you once again, and then see you tomorrow.